Over the last 2 days, we've had some magnificent overviews and insights into the market. Right from the very beginning, when we had, of course, when we had our first panel, which put into perspective the issues that are happening in the South African market. Then we had, of course, the interesting and fascinating historical perspective from the Honourable Judge. Because if we're going to know where we're going, we have to know where we've been. And His Honour certainly put that into perspective. Of our keynote speech, Patrick Sumner's coruscating view on what was happening in Europe was a very sharp and timely reminder of just how bad things can get. Who can forget his prognosis of Paris? And then, as we worked through the days ahead, we had a very lively discussion concerning the politics of the country. And one thing has really become clear as this conference has gone on. You can't divorce the politics from the business. Try as hard as you can, eventually questions come back to those of confidence, it comes back to next year's elections, and it comes back to what happens after that. A man with 1.2 or 3 trillion rand in his back pocket told SAPOA and the industry in no uncertain terms what he wanted. 7 things that he wanted. And not only that, he now has a member on the board. It will be interesting to see this time next year how many of the 7 have come to be 5. And we started this morning with a fascinating account from J.P. Landman, which, frankly, I'm not sure I agree with the honourable gentleman, but his argument goes, at 3%, you muddle through, and muddling through will probably be sufficient. I think that probably sums up what he had to say. J.P. Landman, and then, of course, the US market from Mr. Greninger, which put into perspective beautifully the risks that could happen from the other side of the world. Washington may be a long way away, but it certainly has the capacity to do serious damage. You now have a new president who set out his agenda and talked about what he wanted for the next 12 months. And then we learned, don't use the T word. Tenants. No, they are customers. They are guests. They're my NBF, my new best friend. And finally, I know, who could forget the mayors? Which one of the mayors is more business friendly? Mayor Parks Tau or Mayor Patricia de Lille? Who impressed you the most with their agenda for how they are going to move forward in the 12 months ahead? And listening to those mayors and their agenda, one of whom gave her phone number, the other one gave a very detailed account of the Johannesburg industrial planning for the foreseeable future. Listening to those two, who do you feel more confident about when deciding where you're going to invest? And then after tea and after lunch, we discussed the retail real estate, finishing off here. For those of you who've got balls of steel, who are prepared to, what was it? Anybody remember? You've got to be prepared to commit, go local, and a variety of other things. Ladies and gentlemen, I think in closing, it only behoves me to say, you've got your work cut out for you for the next year. Thank you.